How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Ethan Bridge and I'm host of the Social Media Marketing School podcast and the guy behind the Instagram page at The Marketing Ethan. Now, if this is the first time that you have stumbled across this channel, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button just to help me out a little bit with the Instagram algorithm. But now I've got that classic YouTube stuff out the way, let's just dive straight into today's episode. Today, I want to backtrack because I spoke about this topic very, very early on in the podcast, but a hell of a lot has changed since then. And I feel as if you guys might actually appreciate a recap on this topic, which is the tools I use to create my content on Instagram from start to finish. So from the idea generation all the way through to actually posting and analyzing my content so that I can improve on it in the future. So I will give both paid and free options. So if you guys do have a budget to invest and you want to invest in some paid tools, great. Because a lot of the tools I use are paid, but I will make sure that I do give free alternatives where they are possible and where I feel as if they are worth the free versions opposed to the paid ones. Because at the end of the day, you do get what you pay for. If you pay for a product, most of the time it is going to be better than that of a free product. But for example here, content creation products, Canva is phenomenal and you can use Canva for free. You don't necessarily need Photoshop or Illustrator, but I'll get into that later on, but that's just a quick example. So without any further ado, let's just dive straight into where I generate my content ideas. The tools I use. Number one, Quora. Quora is a Q&A platform whereby you can search for specific topics and then sort by questions. So then pretty much the questions that are being asked become your content topics and the answer to those questions become your content copy. Question equals headline, answer equals the bulk of the post. Pretty simple. So just go on to Quora, search your niche. For example, mine would be social media marketing. Sort the results by questions, and then every single question related to social media marketing is going to come up. Every single question asked, I know is a targeted content idea to my specific audience because I know it is related to social media marketing. And because I know lots of people are asking these questions, I know that it is a common problem that people need solving, and therefore a piece of content related to that question is going to perform relatively well over on Instagram. Now, I do also love to use other social media platforms for content ideas. So, for example, Instagram Reels, you can find some phenomenal content ideas for Reels on TikTok. It's exactly the same content format, but content on TikTok is, in my opinion, a much higher quality at the moment because the app has been around for far longer, so people have established what works well and what doesn't, where a lot of people are still experimenting with Reels at the moment, and I feel as if the barrier to entry is still relatively low because the quality of content on Reels in comparison to TikTok is very low. So do some research on TikTok for your Instagram Reel ideas. For other carousels, have a look on LinkedIn, have a look on Facebook. You can find so many content ideas on other social media platforms that you can then adapt to your audience, keyword being adapt. Please don't just copy. Don't copy. People will realize, people will catch on. Just take inspiration from these other pieces of content and adapt them to your niche, your style, and your messaging. Another website that I actually like to use for content ideas is answerthepublic.com. Head over here. Trust me, it is incredibly, incredibly helpful. It's more or less just a Google search. So it will come up with a search bar. You can type in your niche, social media marketing, for example, click search, and then up will pop so many content ideas. It is unreal how many potential headlines it comes up with. And this is just in a matter of seconds by typing in a single keyword. So you can do this for multiple keywords that relate to your niche. And then it's going to populate a bunch of headlines, a bunch of questions, a bunch of hows, what's, to's, when's, where's, all of these different question examples and headline examples so that you can instantly just pick out a few and create content on them. It's that simple. And another very obvious one, I know this isn't a tool specifically, or these content generation ideas other than Quora and Answer the Public aren't tools, it's down to your own intuition. It's just looking at other Instagram creators, taking inspiration. What is working well for other creators within your niche? How can you take the best performing pieces of content and innovate upon them and improve them? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Find out what's working well, take that as inspiration, innovate, make it better, make it yours. And then you can go on from there. And then finally, my probably favourite one is just own experiences. Not at all, but I just thought I'd want to add it in at the end here. Your own experiences, they are unique to you. They are very applicable to others, because if you've been through a problem and you've overcome it, it's likely that other people will come to that problem or are currently going through that problem, and therefore your piece of content solving that problem will be very helpful to them. But that rounds up pretty much where I get all of my content ideas from. So now I've got all my ideas, I need to plan my content, and I plan my content in two different places. I either do it in a Microsoft Word document or just on the notes section of my phone. I've got the idea already because I've got that, so that's my headline done. Now I need to write the copy. So in the Word document or the notes, when I'm creating carousels, I will write down bullet points for 1 to 8, because my content fills up 8 slides. 8 slides because the first one is actually the headline cover and the final slide is my call to action cover. So you get 10 slides of a carousel, but 2 of them are taken up by the headline and the call to action. So that leaves you with 8 slides for your piece of content. And then I will just write out line by line my copy for my text, but I will use different structures. Head back to a previous episode I've recorded about structuring your carousels, and then you will work out from that how I actually structure my carousels and how you can do so as well to make sure that it flows nicely and has some aspect of storytelling to it, because that's going to keep people engaged. But I use Microsoft Word, which is a paid tool, but you could also use Notes as well, which is completely free. I'm not sure what the Android version is of Notes, but I know on iPhone it's very good, because you may write in your notes on your phone, these slides, and then you can, if you've got a MacBook as well, just head over to your MacBook, and then the notes that you've made on your phone actually go through to your MacBook. So then it's just a case of heading over to Notes, copying, pasting as such when we go into the design stage. Now, for the design of my content, I personally use Adobe Illustrator. Yes, this is a paid tool, but it is incredibly powerful. Very complicated to begin with, don't get me wrong, but as soon as you begin to get the hang of it and understand what you need to know to create a good post, you can really make this content creation process seamless and very quite efficient. I can create a week's worth of content in 3 to 4 hours by doing this content creation process that I'm talking through right now and using these tools, because I will have my templates set up, and then I will simply copy and paste my text copy that I've just written either in Notes or Word straight into my templates that I've already pre-made in Adobe Illustrator. But you could do the same with Canva. You can have Canva templates already set up so that you can just simply copy and paste the text that you've written for the copy straight into the templates. So pick either one of those two, in my opinion. If you don't want to use Canva, I personally started using Keynote. It's Apple's version of PowerPoint, but it's already pre-installed on Mac, so it costs absolutely nothing as well. And believe it or not, if you actually look into PowerPoint and you find out all of the different tools that you can actually utilize, and especially on Keynote as well, it is really quite powerful. People don't realize some of the stuff that you can actually do on the platform. So when you properly learn it and find out all of these little tips and tricks you can actually do, you can create phenomenal content. You may have heard of a creator called Dave Talas. All of his carousels are created on Keynote. But if you look at them, the quality looks like they've been created in Photoshop or Illustrator. It's quite incredible, and fair play to him that he's been able to use a free platform and really work out how to get the most out of it to create the quality of content he does. And he's got well over 100,000 followers and an incredibly engaged community. So he's definitely someone that you should check out for content creation ideas, inspiration, or just if you want to learn Instagram growth and the content topics he talks about. He's adapted over time, so I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about now, but he's an incredible creator to consume content from. But it just goes to show that you don't need Photoshop or Illustrator to create your content. You can simply do it in Keynote or Canva and have equally high quality content that will still perform incredibly well. So we've got our ideas now. We've written our content copy. We've copy and pasted our text into our templates, or however you may want to create your post. It's good to have some imagery now. If you look at my content, I actually, on every single cover slide, make sure I have some visuals. I just feel as if on a headline slide, this is really, really going to help grab that attention. Having a complementing image to the headline that you have chosen really just helps draw that attention in and makes people want to continue reading. It can really complement well and get people excited for something that they're about to learn. But now you might be thinking, I don't want to pay for images and I don't want to be copyright striked and have my content taken down. There are 2 websites you can use for phenomenal images that are copyright free. One being Pexels and the other being FreePic. I use both of them and they are brilliant. So just head over there, completely free. There are pictures for pretty much anything. Thousands upon hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of images uploaded to these websites. So if you are looking for a certain image, you will be able to find one on either Pexels or FreePic. If you're looking for icons, another one as well is Icon Finder. Just simply Google it, search for a type of icon you want, click download. You can choose what size you want it, you can choose what color you want it, and then just simply import it into your design. It's not difficult, you don't have to overcomplicate these things, and you can still achieve remarkable results. I did also want to touch quickly on video, because you will see if you go onto my page that I do actually create some video content, and some of you might be thinking, what tools do you use to create your video content? So I'll quickly run through these. For the editing process, I will record obviously the audio and the video. Audio separate to video. Audio will be recorded on Audacity through a professional microphone, a Blue Yeti. Record the video separately on my Canon 90D camera. I will then take the 2 into Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, synchronize the video with the audio so that it matches up, so that I then have high quality sound matched up with the video that has been recorded on my camera. I will then add backgrounds in, but this is all done within Premiere Pro. For the background music, I use a paid website. I signed up to a subscription on a paid website called Epidemic Sounds. It is £10 a month, but you get access to millions of songs, millions of royalty-free music that are not chart music, not music that you're hearing by Drake or whatever music artist you may listen to. They are individually submitted by artists onto the platform. So you can also find sound effects on there as well, but the library of audio on Epidemic Sounds is phenomenal. So if you're looking for that royalty-free music, I strongly suggest you do sign up to Epidemic Sounds, and that way you will never run out of royalty-free music. But they are the tools I use for video editing. Premiere Pro, Epidemic Sounds, and then I will just take in separate images and stuff from FreePic and Pexels just to spice it up and make it a little bit more fancy and interesting. So now we've created the content, but it's really, really important to make sure that you're analyzing your content so that you can adapt, improve, innovate, make it better so that you are continually improving your content marketing strategy. Now, for analyzing analytics, I use the app Ninjalytics, completely free on the App Store, and it is brilliant. You can search by any account, to be honest. You can search up anyone's account and look into their analytics, but I would strongly suggest that you download it and make sure that you start tracking your own accounts. It tracks your engagement rate, it tracks your average comments, your average likes, it tracks your follower growth, pretty much everything. It even tracks what hashtags you've used recently and the rankings of your posts over a certain period of time, so that you can look and you can compare and make sure that you can then pick out which posts perform well, which ones didn't perform so well, so that you can take that and make sure you are always improving. And it's free. And obviously the other simple one to use is your Instagram Insights. But to be honest, I find that the Ninjalytics analytics are far more interesting and easier to read. There's a much more user-friendly layout for you to actually look at. So download Ninjalytics and have a look at your analytics over there. But that rounds up pretty much all of the tools that I use for creating content on Instagram. It's not that complicated. I don't use any post schedulers. I don't use any hashtag analytics tools. None of that. I just use the very simple, basic, common apps that most people can use or that are accessible to everybody. Content idea generation, completely free. Paid apps, yes, I use Premiere Pro and I use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to edit some images, but they are the only paid apps that I would recommend. You don't need anything else. You don't even need them. Use Canva, use Keynote, use PowerPoint. You don't have to overcomplicate things. That's all I am saying. But that rounds up today's video. If you did enjoy, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turned on post notifications. That way you will never miss a video when I post one. But I did just want to mention that this is a part of my podcast series, Social Media Marketing School, and the audio version of the podcast is actually the place to be because I release this content a lot sooner over there than I do here on YouTube. So if you want to consume this content sooner, make sure you are subscribing to the audio version of the podcast. I will leave some links in the description. You won't regret it. But if you've got any questions with regards to anything I've mentioned, please just reach out to me on Instagram at @themarketingethan. Send me a DM and I'll make sure I get back to you no matter what. But if you have made it to this point in the video, I just want to finish off by saying thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.